in a gym just like this one in Clemson, South Carolina, I would dribble in a circle for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes every day to increase my basketball awareness as a dribbler. I wanted to go through all the different dribbles. I wanted to imagine what I could do with a basketball dribbling-wise in a small circle like this one. I would go behind my back, between my legs in front, sideways, back and forth, whatever I could, because I know that the hand is on different parts of the ball when you dribble it. And that's what this video is about today. It's about making you a more effective dribbler. Now you can get your basketball and we can come out here today and we can start doing our homework together. But not only are we going to learn the basic fundamentals of dribbling, the mechanics of dribbling, but you're going to learn how to do creative fundamentals of dribbling. That's going to make you a much more effective basketball dribbler, especially if you're a playmaker. So let's do our homework. The mechanics of dribbling a basketball. As you can see right now, I have what's called a suction cup on the basketball. You might be thinking, what does this suction cup have to do with dribbling a basketball? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is hand placement on a basketball. And to illustrate it, I wanted to use this suction cup because that is the way the hand is supposed to be placed over the ball. You see, the only thing that should be on the basketball is just like when you shot the basketball. You shot it with your finger pad, your fingertips, the thumb to support the basketball. It's the same way with dribbling. You want to hover your hand over the basketball in this area like this, so it comes up and acts as a suction cup. So when it comes back up off the dribble, it comes up in this area where you can really control it. You can't control the basketball with your palm. If I was to dribble with my palm area, I'm going to lose it. So I want that suction cup. I want to dribble the basketball just like this, right-handed or left-handed, making the ball go completely back up into the hand placement. Let's talk about the wrist flex, the wrist snap. What does the wrist have to do with dribbling a basketball? I want to make sure, just like when I shoot the basketball, I'm going to have that good snap of my wrist like this, because that's going to give me backspin on the ball. It's going to give me better control of the basketball, especially when I'm dribbling it. So I want that wrist snap. I want that snap of the wrist when I'm dribbling the basketball. Now I'm going to do this in kind of slow motion for you so you can understand and you can see this wrist snap. Now when I snap my wrist, you can see there's a slight backspin on the ball. The reason there's a slight backspin on the ball is because I'm stationary. Now if I was moving, you wouldn't see that backspin. But whether it's right hand or whether it's left hand, you want to make sure that you have a free wrist. You don't want to have a frozen wrist. You don't want this kind of a wrist when you're dribbling a basketball. But you want it free. You want it to be able to snap. So this is called the wrist snap of dribbling, the wrist flex. We just talked about hand placement on the basketball. So now let's move to the body and see what the correct position is that we should be in when we dribble a basketball. There is a correct way that you should stand when you're dribbling a basketball. Now I'm going to start with the feet and come upwards. Now I'm going to be at about a 45-degree angle with the feet in this position like this. My knees are going to be slightly bent like this. The upper torso of me, my back and so forth, is going to be straight. I don't want to hunch over like this. I want to be straight. My head and eyes should be completely up like this. My head should be up. My shoulders should be back. I should be surveying the court. I should be looking into the front court, seeing the men in their position so that if I'm a playmaker, I can see what's going on in the front court. The ball should be bounced behind the right back foot. So it should be bounced in this position like this. My left arm should be out here for protection. I should use the posterior part of my body also for protection. Against whom? Against the defense. I want to make sure that the back part of me, I'm at a side angle, a 45-degree angle. I don't want to place the ball out in front of me like this because then someone can come and steal it from me. I want to turn sideways like this, 45 degrees, feet pointing outward like this, knees bent, shoulders back, torso up, head and eyes up, the ball back here, and I'm going to start dribbling in this fashion. Left arm out for protection. Now that is the correct way to dribble a basketball. Let's talk now about the square V dribble. Now the square V dribble is the basic technique in developing your dribbling skills. It's the key to more advanced dribbles that you will learn later on in this tape. The behind the back dribble, between the legs, you'll be able to learn how to dribble from the stationary position called the square V. Now the square V got its name, basically, we're going to go alternating hands in front, and you're going to form a V action in front. You're going to form a V action from the side, right hand and left hand, and you're going to form a V action from behind. You're also going to form a V action in between. So let's get right into it. You can grab your basketball and you can do this with me because I'm going to do it very slowly at the beginning. We're going to alternate hands going back and forth, just like this. You can see the V. You can see the V that's being made with the basketball. Now I want to rock back and forth with my body because I want to have rhythm when I'm dribbling the basketball. So I want to go back and forth, just like this. Now let's go to the side. Left foot in front, right foot back. We're going to rock back and forth. We want that arm to be completely extended past the front foot. We also want the arm to go completely back extended from the back. So we're going to go back and forth like this, real slow, like this. Just getting the ball. And you notice the arm. The arm is twisting. You can see the position of the hand. It's in front, pushing it back, and then it turns around, and it goes from behind. So we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's go to the left. Right foot in front, left foot back. Make the V again. Back and forth, start off slow. Grab your basketball. Don't worry about it. If you lose your basketball, just get it back. Start over again. Now let's go to the back. We're going to go from back to back now. I'm going to do this real slow. Real slow. See? You want to bend your knees. You want to float your back like this. You don't want to stand up too straight because you'll hit the back of your foot. So I want to make sure. Now, this is where the hands become the extension of the ball. I'm not looking at the basketball at this position, but I can feel it. I know where my hands are, and I'm making sure that that cup action is there, that I can get it. So you want to just go back and forth in the same area, making sure that you bounce the ball down and catch it. Now let's go sideways, through the legs. Same position, left foot in front, right foot back. We're going to go back and forth, between the legs. Like this, again, make sure that that knee is bent. See that knee bending? Make sure that you have that ball in the cup of the hand. Make sure that you're going through. Back and forth, just like this. Now let's go to the right leg forward. We're going to do the same thing. Back and forth, same way. It's a great drill as far as getting your hands in shape. It's a great dribbling drill because this is where you're going to go between your legs. Everybody goes between their legs today, so this is how you learn how to go between your legs. Now let's go to the front. Now we went from the back, we went to the front, we went sideways, we went front to back. Now we're going to take one hand and we're going to do an inverted dribble, which is going to come over here. The hand's going to go back this way. So my hand is in front here, going to come across. I'm going to twist my arm this way and I'm going to throw it back. So we're over there and back. Here and back. Here and back. You notice I have the same rhythm. See, that's called coordination. It's harmony. Have the same harmony. See, just being able to do this right here, see? This is a coordinating effort of dribbling a basketball. Back and forth, see? Just back and forth, just like this. You should do this day in and day out because you want to master this part of the dribble, the square V dribble, see? Back and forth. Now we'll go for the left hand now, see? Real slow. Put it over to your left hand. That's it. Go real slow. 1 and 2 and 3. And we'll just keep doing this. You don't have to go that fast. You may even be able to go faster. But learn how to do it first. Be consistent. This is the way I start out. You have to learn the fundamentals before you can do something more advanced. So go back and forth like this with the left hand. Back and forth. The square V dribble. This is a drill that you must master. If you do that in a stationary position, you will have incorporated the basic fundamentals of dribbling. And you do it repetitiously every day. And if you do it every day and do this religiously every day, just time and time again, you'll find yourself a much better dribbler, and then we will go on to more creative forms of dribbling. Let's talk about walking with the basketball now. There's fundamentals involved in walking, and you must know that. First of all, let's incorporate what we've already learned. Of course, the hand placement on the ball. Don't forget to let that act as a suction cup on the ball. Make sure that the thumb is your support area on the basketball. Make sure that you have good wrist snap. Make sure that as you're walking, the ball is thrown out in front of you. Not very much when you're walking, but out in front of you. And you're still going to have a slight backspin when the ball is out in front of you. So let's get right into walking with the basketball. As you can see right now, the ball is out in front of me. You can notice my wrist right here. You can notice the snap. You can see the slight backspin on the basketball. Now you might say, hey, this is kind of boring to me, but this wasn't boring when I was your age. When I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 years old, this wasn't boring. This is all I ever did. First of all, you have to learn the fundamentals of how to dribble a basketball. This is one of the first fundamentals you learn when you learn how to walk. You know, when you were born, you just didn't wake up and start running hurdles, did you? I don't think you did. So that's walking with the basketball. Now, you know, when I was a young kid in Clemson, every summer, because I had that whole day to spend playing basketball, I would get up in the morning, eat my breakfast, and just go out the door dribbling my basketball. I would dribble some 2 to 2.5 miles into town. Sometimes a guy would come by, hey, Pete, you want us to give you a ride in? I said, no, that's okay. I'm going to dribble on in. Because I wanted the ball to become an extension of my hand. Through repetitive movement of dribbling, that's how I became a much better dribbler. That's how I could go out on a basketball court and go around different people. So don't forget, you have to learn the fundamentals first. That's the walking portion of it. Running with a basketball. Now, we just talked about walking. There's a little bit difference when you start to run with the basketball. Number one, you've got to put the ball way out in front of you, a lot more. In walking, I was dribbling maybe 7 or 8 times in the area that I'm dribbling in. When I'm running, I'm only dribbling maybe 4 times. That's because I'm pushing the ball way out in front to keep my body up with it. And that's what happens. You want to still have the same wrist snap. You want to make sure that you have that cup over the ball. Make sure your head and eyes are forward, and make sure you keep the ball out in front of you. If you keep it out in front of you here, you can keep your head and eyes up. If the ball's back here, you're going to lose it. Because you can't run and dribble the ball back here. It's got to be out in front of you at all times. So let's go over that one more time. Watch where the ball is. Watch the hand on the ball. Watch the movement. Watch how the head and eyes are up. That's dribbling the ball while running. Remember, keep the ball out in front as far as you need it to be. Remember to cup those hands. Remember to have good wrist flexion. Remember to keep your head and eyes up. That's how you run with the basketball and dribble. Now we're going to go into the different types of dribbles. Now we've learned how to stationary dribble, we've learned how to walk and dribble, we've learned how to run and dribble. Now we're going to go into the different types of dribbles, like the behind the back, the change of direction. This one, which you just saw, is called the stop and pop dribble. Now what would you use this for? Well, a lot of times if you're coming down on a fast break situation, someone might be coming up behind you. And everybody on the court says, watch out, he's coming up behind you. And always the guy normally steals the ball. But if you're aware of everybody on the court, and you know this particular dribble, this stop and pop dribble, then as you're coming down full speed, then you just take that ball and you just stop your body right there in the court and go down low with your body and take that basketball, and you're going from a very high dribble down to a very low dribble down in this fence, and that guy's going to go on by. That's called the stop and pop dribble. Come up hard, stop real quickly, then pop the ball on the floor as low as you can. That'll make that defensive man fly forward. Keep your head and eyes up, see the court. The stop and pop dribble. Learn it. Change of direction dribble. That's what we're going to do right now. As you can see, I was going in one direction, and then I changed over with the ball and with my body into another direction. That's why it's called change of direction dribble. Now when you do the change of direction dribble, remember, you can do it a couple of different ways. One, you can use your entire arm when you change direction. Now the more deceptive way to do it is with your wrist. Remember, it's a hard dribble. Also, think of this. You're always going to have a defender on you when you do that change of direction dribble. So you're taking the ball out in front of you, and you've got to come across him. And that's where you have an air, a degree right there, where you can make an error, and he can steal that basketball. So that's why we're going to go into a couple of other dribbles that are change of direction dribbles also, but they're done a different way. So that's change direction dribble. The double clutch dribble. You notice that? It's a pop twice on the floor. You say, how can I use that? What can I do with that? That's another way to change direction. You see, a lot of times when you're coming down the court and you're changing direction, what happens? The defensive man doesn't go for the fake. He puts his hand in there and he gets the ball. Well, if you learn how to do this double clutch, where you take the ball in slow motion as the ball comes down like this, you're going to pop it twice. It's just like that. What happens? Well, when that guy comes in to steal the ball is only about 1/8 of an inch off the ground. He's not going to be able to get it. You see, you don't just have to do this on a change of direction. You can do it standing still right here. You might be setting your offense up. A defender comes in, he sees the ball right here. I'm going to get the ball. As soon as he reaches in, you go right around him. You change direction. So let's change direction using the double clutch. Let me tell you this. This is a fact. I used to use this dribble all the time when I played in college and in pro ball. Very few times. The only time I ever got it stolen was when I made the mistake. The defender never got that basketball. But it's a deceptive dribble. You plan it out there for the person. You lure it out there like some bait. And as soon as he hooks onto that bait, that's when you go right around him. It's called a double clutch, because as you're going around him into the lane, he's going to be sitting there like this with his thumb saying, hey, can I get a ride? I got to catch my man up there. Because you're going to be dunking it, laying it in, jamming from behind, whatever you want to do, that's what you're going to do. You got me? Learn it. Remember that move right there? We did at the first of the video, didn't we? That was called the what? The correct stance for a dribble. The stationary stance. Now we're going to go into another dribble. It's called the slide protection dribble. Now where does that come in? Well, slide protection. Slide protection. We're going to take the stationary stance that we just had, and we're going to move down the court in a sliding manner. We're going to protect the ball not only with our hand, with our arm out here, with the ball behind us, but we're going to protect the ball with our posterior. And we're going to keep our head and eyes up so we can look down the court to make sure everybody's in there. Now, there's a critical distance. There's a critical distance where that defensive player is. You've got to always understand there's a critical distance where that man's arm can reach you. You don't want that player's arm to be able to touch you. If he can touch you, okay, that's when you protect the ball even more. So you've got to always be aware of where they are. Always be aware of the defender. Let's do the slide protection dribble. That's the slide protection dribble. You slide, you protect the ball, your head and eyes are up. Learn it. Keep doing it. Work on it. It's repetitive. Every one of these drills is repetitive. You can't become a better dribbler unless you bare bones it out here on the court. Fundamentally, just keep doing it over and over. The slide protection dribble. Next dribble, the spin dribble, the whirl dribble, the twirl dribble, the reverse dribble, whatever name you want to put on it. The best one-on-one player that I ever played against and played with, not in the pros, but played with outside of the pro league, was a guy by the name of Earl the Pearl Monroe. Played with the New York Knickerbockers. He was the best spinning reverse dribbler I've ever seen. In fact, he was so good at it that he would just, it was ridiculous even to try to guard him. Because that was his favorite move, and he would just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and drive you nuts. And he'd spin right in here, see, and he'd spin right here, and in his last spin, he would do a fake like this, and everybody would go up in the air, and then he shot with his elbow out, and as you were coming down, his elbow was going up, he'd get you about 6 stitches right here to the chin and get the three-point play. But he was the best spinner. So let's learn the spin dribble right now, okay? Now, how do I want to spin? Well, I'm going to the left right here. The one thing you want to remember is this. You don't want to spin with the ball in this position. Because if you spin with the ball in this position, the guy's going to take it from you and he's going to go and lay it in. So be sure that when you spin, you bring that ball across when you spin. See, all one movement. Watch. Watch the foot. It's going to spin. Watch the ball. It's going to also spin. Watch. Remember, when you make that spin, don't spin standing straight up. You can't spin standing straight up. Number one, you got too much of a margin of error in between because the ball is going to be way up here when you spin, see? You don't want to spin like this, see? That's not going to get it done. Always do a spin in a lower position. From this position right in here, you see the knees are bent right here? I'm just going to spin right on the ball of my foot right there, see? Spin right around, see? I'm going to spin right around, see? See? Spin, see? Spin right around, see? Actually, what I'm doing right here is called a reverse pivot. You see, I'm pivoting off my left foot, I'm reversing it around. See, that's all a spin and twirl movement is. See, so I come in here like this. See, I'm going to come in, I'm going to spin around, make sure that ball's there. That's the twirl, the whirl, the spin, the reverse dribble. The behind the back dribble. Now, if you remember the square V that we got into in the beginning, that was the basis for every dribble that we're going to learn. Now the behind the back dribble comes basically from this simple square V drill of just dribbling behind your back, learning how to do this, not looking at the ball, but learning how to do this, because there is a span of time where you will not be able to see the ball at all when you go behind your back. So how do you use this in a situation on the court? Well, the behind the back dribble is a good dribble. I used to use the behind the back dribble almost all the time to change direction. And the reason I used it to change direction was because when you're coming at a defender, and you're coming at a defender like this, and then you just come over like this, well, what happens? Well, the ball is being placed right in front of him, and he's got an opportunity to steal the ball. The defender was right here. I would show him the ball here, but then I would just go right behind my back. I was changing direction. The ball came right up to my left hand. So So let's go. How can I learn to do this behind the back dribble? Okay, first of all, when you follow through on the behind the back dribble, you really want to almost hit yourself in the posterior. Let's do it at real slow, and let's do it at different angles. Let's go at like a 45-degree angle. But what you want to literally end up with is you want to be able to dribble the ball behind your back, almost going in a straight line. Once you learn how to do that portion of it, you'll be ready to do that behind the back dribble in the game. But it takes a lot of practice, a tremendous amount of practice of dribbling behind your back. And you only use it in situations where you really need it. When I'd come down on a fast break sometimes, the only dribble I could use was behind the back dribble. If I did not use that dribble, it would have been stolen. Because I found myself in a surprising situation, and the only thing I could do was go behind my back real quick, like that, you see? And that'll bring you out of trouble. It's a good change of direction dribble. So take this, behind the back dribble, and do it. The between the legs dribble. And it all came from the square V dribble that you learned at the beginning of this video. That's what you got to learn first. You've got to learn to dribble between your legs in a low position because you got less margin of error. The higher your dribble is, the more margin of error there is. So let's learn to do it. There are several ways you can do it. I can come this way, just like this, and I can go from behind here, through my legs this way, and change direction that way. Probably the best player in the NBA that really uses the between the legs dribble better than anyone is Isaiah Thomas. Now he likes to use it coming on a fast break situation. He also likes to use it on a delayed fast break situation. He likes to use it any time. And what he does is he likes to come right up on the man. He likes to come right up on the man like this. And then he'll go between his legs here, back this way, maybe behind his back that way, and change direction. See, that's all from being able to handle the ball. It's not how quick you are. It's not how fast you are. It doesn't matter whether you have slow feet. It doesn't matter whether you have slow hands or whatever. If you commit and practice this kind of dribble, you'll be able to go by people. So you come down, see, and you go back through here. You can come back through this way. You can change direction this way, back and forth this way, back over this way, back this way, back through, back. Any kind of dribble you want. See, behind the back there, we got this one here, back through here, back through, back this way, back through, back this way, back through. Between the legs dribble. Exceptional dribble to learn. It'll keep you out of a lot of trouble. Get your ball, start in a square V, and then master it. Now let's look at a dribbling drill that you can do at your house. It incorporates 4 different things. Of course, we have the stationary dribble, the correct way to dribble, which is like this. And then when I say change over, when I say change, then of course you go over like this, and you're going to change to your left hand. If I say change again, you're going to go to your right hand, okay? Change. Change. Now double time is a coordinating move. It's a harmony move. It's being able to do something with the basketball and something else with the body. 2 different things, having your brain understand what that means, comprehend it, see? Now, I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to dribble it very, very slow. But my feet are going to be moving very, very fast. Now, at the beginning, they're going to be moving kind of slow, and it's going to pick up and pick up and pick up to just a machine gun step. A machine gun step, but the ball is going to be moving very slow. It's called double time, so watch it, okay? See, the ball is moving real slow. Feet are starting to get a little bit faster, but the ball is still moving the same. Now real fast, see? Ball real slow. Real fast. Keep up. Come on. Keep going. That's right. Now slow up. Now that's double time. Then you say, that's easy. That's not hard to do. Well, try it. Go ahead and try it right now. Get that machine gun approach with your feet. That's what you need in basketball dribbling. You need coordination. Now we're going to put in what's called circle right and circle left. I'm going to say circle right. So I'm in this circle right here. So when I say circle right, okay, when I say circle right, I'm going to circle to the right, see? I'm going to circle to the right. Circle to, so I say circle left, I'm going to say circle left, see? I'm going to control the ball. Circle right, back around, see? Circle left. Circle left. Circle right. Next portion of this drill is called speed, and then stop and pop. Then speed, then stop and pop. So, if I'm going this way, I say speed, and I want you to go fast, fast, stop and pop. Speed. Turn back around. Ready? Speed. Stop and pop. Down low, down low. Speed. Stop. Speed. Stop. Double time, see? Circle right. Circle left. Change. 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 Now let me tell you something. You see this sweat? That's what happens when you're out here working. That's what will happen to you. You'll start sweating. That's good. And you mothers that are sitting there, don't worry if your son gets a little sweat on his eyebrow. That's good for him. But when you do this drill, you're going to be out of breath. It's strenuous. But you got to break through that barrier. It's called discipline. You learn these fundamental drills, what I've been teaching you. Learn them, keep doing them repetitiously every day. And I'll tell you something else. You'll get in much better shape. Creative fundamental. This is the part of the video that you're really going to enjoy. Now we went over the basic fundamentals of how to dribble a basketball. Now we're going to go over the creative fundamentals. When I was a young kid, my dad wanted to break the monotony of me running up and down the court, doing all these speed drills and all these different drills that really became quite boring to me. And I wanted something that would develop my quickness, develop my concentration, make me more determined to want to come out the next day to play. So he developed all these creative fundamentals to make me quicker, to make me faster, to build my confidence, to support me. And it really encouraged me because each day I couldn't wait to get to the gymnasium to go over these different types of drills. So today we're going to go into the creative fundamentals of dribbling a basketball. Punching the bag, another creative fundamental that you're going to learn right now. I used to do this drill all the time, every day. And what it really develops is, number one is rhythm, number two is coordination, number three is hand quickness. Most of these drills will afford you hand quickness because you're going to have the coordination part of the drill followed up by the quickness part of the drill. Okay? So, we're going to start doing this punching the bag. This is the name that my father gave to this back in 1956, was the fact that you would start the ball up here high, alternating hands, just like this. It's a real simple movement, see? But the object of this drill is to get faster and faster with the hands and move the ball downward, keeping the same rhythm all the way through, which means that the ball is going to get faster and faster and faster. The hands are going to move quicker and quicker and quicker until the ball is about 1/8 of an inch off the floor, and your hand should be moving very, very quickly. Remember this, execute. See, that's the whole problem. A lot of kids in my camp, for example, they'll take this drill and they'll go like this. They'll go. See, that's not execution, okay? Learn to do it first. Learn softly how to just do this, get a little faster, go all the way down like that, and do that, see? And just keep doing that, see? And then what you want to do is, this is going to resemble, in fact, you can basically hear this, close your eyes, and it'll sound like a train leaving a station. Very slow start. So listen up and watch. Punching the bag drill. Learn it. The circle dribble. Another creative fundamental to help strengthen, develop make you more coordinated, make your hands that much more quicker on the basketball as you dribble it. Now, when I was a young kid, I would always just sit down, sometimes in front of the TV set. But mostly I would just sit down and I would just dribble circles around myself. Because in this particular little creative fundamental drill here, you really lose sight of the ball back here. And then when you get your hands back in this area, that's where the ball becomes dead in most cases. In other words, it just goes down on the floor like this and you got to start it back up. So what you want to do is you want to learn how to reverse your hand in the back like this, and just like you're standing up, you want to just make that little behind the back dribble to make it come right from your knee. So let's just go over this right now. We're going to real slow. We'll go back, we lose it, we bring it back this way, and we come back this way with it. Now if you notice that when the ball is coming in this direction here, you see my hand is not on top of the ball, my hand's on the side of the ball. I'm dribbling the ball from the side. Why? Because I want the momentum to go this way. Okay? When it's this way, I'm dribbling the ball back. You see, so you have different hand placements on the ball. And it's very low. It's very good for strengthening your fingertips. It's very good for coordinating yourself to be able to dribble the ball in all different situations and areas. So we get the ball here, we go around, and then we come back this way. The ball is still in the same position, and my hands are just changing over. And it's always moving. There's no stopping with the ball. That's the circle dribble. Sit down, do it, and you become a much better dribbler. One-legged figure eight. Another creative fundamental drill that you can do to learn to become a more effective dribbler, a better dribbler. All these dribbles right here are very low to the ground, and that is again to develop your fingertips, to make sure that your hand placement's on the ball correctly, and to give you rhythm as you dribble the ball. This is a one-legged figure eight. You're down on one knee. I'm on my right knee right now. Your left knee is out like this. And what we're going to do is do a figure eight fashion around the body, okay? I'm going to start out here to the right side. I'm going to come back all the way around, back through the center, back around this way, and as you can see, there's a figure eight being formed. A figure eight being formed. Now a lot of mistakes are made back here because people lose the ball, and it may look simple, but it'll take some work on your part to be able to do it. You got to lean back, get that ball through. Now if you do it on one leg, you got to do it on the other. So you come back down on your left knee now, your right knee's up here. Make sure that you're coordinated, you have good balance when you do this. Also, this is again a very taxing drill, and it's a very good stretching drill. It's a good drill because you're leaning back, you're stretching your hamstring back here, you're stretching your lower back, you're stretching the frontal part of your thigh when you do this type of drill. So again, you come back with the left hand, back through, pick it up with the right hand, come on through. This is good because you got your different hand placements on the ball, and you got to push that ball up between those legs. Once it gets through here, you got to bring it over here, you got to bring it through there, and then back through. A one-legged figure eight, another good creative dribbling drill. Different strokes, a good dribbling drill. Now the reason that my dad developed these different drills that were low to the ground was to develop fingertips, was to develop the wrist, was to get good wrist snap. You have to have rhythm when you dribble the basketball. And this is called different strokes. That's called a hammer. That's called a dead ball. You gotta have fun when you do this, fellas, girls. That's called just the fingertips. See? Top of the fingertips. That's called individual fingers. First the index finger, the middle finger, third finger, little finger. Here's the thumb. We got the back of the hand. That's called different strokes. It's really a good drill for you to learn. It's a good dribbling drill. It will give you a great deal of confidence so that when you go back out in the court, you'll be able to do something somebody else can't do. Now, some people call this the Hollywood dribble. It's the laid-back dribble. Now, sometimes you might be at home and you've gone through all these different types of drills, and hey, you're tired. You say, I've had it. There's nothing else I can do. Yeah, you can. We just went over the circle dribble and all these other types of dribbles. Why don't you lay down now? Just lay down, and you can still work on dribbling. How do you do it? Well, we call this a laid-back dribble. There's several different things that you can do from this position. Just laying down, you're relaxed. But the one thing you want to be concerned with is that you have rhythm and that you're constantly strengthening your fingertips. So I'm going to lay back like this. We can start over here. You notice my elbow is on the floor. The only thing dribbling the basketball at this point right now is my fingers. Just my fingers. You see the rhythm on that? That's really good rhythm. You might want to start off real slow. See, like this. Just pat it with the fingers. Pat it, pat it, pat it. Then you, little strengther, a little stronger like this. Now you can take it from there. And you can go over here to the right side, okay? Same thing, elbow down, see? Elbows down. You may only want to do this maybe for a minute. And this is really going to tax your arm and your wrist and your fingers. Of course, your body and your feet aren't going to be in this, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, from this position here, there's a lot of things we can do. We can take the ball back behind us like this. It's a very awkward position in having your hands to be able to dribble like this. It really wears on your arms and your hands. It really takes a lot of coordination to do this, but you can do it. Now let's go all the way around and bring the ball over here, okay? Let's just go back and forth now. Let it go way over, you know where it's coming. Have the coordination to pick it back up. Let it roll a couple times. Pick it back up. Bring the ball around here. There's a lot of things you can do around this area. As you're sitting down, you can do a little back. You know, when we did the square V dribble, we're going behind our back, we can do the same thing here. Whatever you can do to make yourself a better dribbler, do it. Don't ever shy away from doing different dribbles. If your coach says all these drills won't do any good for you, don't listen to him. Because let me tell you something, it's through these drills, these homework basketball drills, that I happen to get in the NBA. That's the majority reason why I got to the NBA. And I'm telling you, these drills, if you work on them, you practice them, you can become a good, effective basketball dribbler and ball handler. The dribbling pretzel. The dribbling pretzel. Now, these drills might look very simple to you, but they're not. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of concentration, and you must be out here repetitively just doing this time and time again to be able to do this. I'm going to show you how to do this drill. Now, I picked out a certain amount of drills out of our homework basketball scheme to give to you today in dribbling. These are the most important drills that I think can make you a better dribbler. There's many more, but we can only get so many in. And so I wanted to pick the most important ones that I know really help me, and I know they will help you. So this is the dribbling pretzel. Now what we're going to do is, how you learn this drill is basically, if you remember the square V that we were doing. Remember we were standing in a square V and we were going between our legs just like this? You've seen that before? This is how you learn it from a stationary position. Now from a walking position, what I want to do is I want to lean over. I want to take the ball with this hand. I want to, from the back side, not the front side, the back side. You can do it either way, but let's start from the back side. Bring the ball through and catch it. See? Take a step, catch it. See? Take a step, catch it. Now, take another step, throw it through, catch it. Take a step, catch it. Step, catch it. Step, catch it. Let's turn around. Same way, catch it. Ready? Catch it. Two hands. Now I want to leave the two hands. I just want to alternate hands, but I want to keep the dribble very low. Why? Because I have more control. The lower you dribble the ball, the more control you're going to have on it. Why? Because you got less margin of error, less space. If I'm dribbling the ball up here, See? I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. If I dribble the ball down here, see, in this area right here, I'm not going to make as many mistakes. That's why. You understand? Okay, now, let's go. Ready? Through, just like this. That's it. Just keep going low. Keep going low. Low. Keep it low. You have more control. You have less margin of error. Less margin of error. Now, I want to eventually come all the way up to where I can just dribble straight up. You can go backwards with it, see? Backwards. See? Walk backwards. Forward. Okay, now, you can also skip. Learn to skip. Why I put in skipping? So I'm trying to make you more coordinated, okay? The more coordinated you are, the better movement you're going to have on the court. You have more agility on the court. You're going to be able to do things you normally couldn't do. So let's skip and do it, okay? We're going to skip. The dribbling pretzel. Do it with some salt. Now we've been going over a lot of dribbling drills today. Now this is one of my sons, Jason. Now he hasn't been playing basketball very long, about a year and a half. I've really just encouraged him to play. But he can do a couple of different dribbles with the basketball, and he really only does it about 20 to 30 times, 40 times a day. He's only spending 3 or 4 minutes a day, but just spending that small amount of time, he's able to do certain things with the basketball that I think is good. It can show you that whether you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 12, 13, that you have a shot to become a better dribbler if you have the commitment. So Jason, you go ahead and start that figure 8 dribble right now. Go ahead. Take your time. And that's it. That's good. Keep going. You see, he's relaxed when he's doing it. Now he hadn't been doing it that long. And that's excellent. That's excellent dribble right there. He's got good wrist snap on the ball. And of course I know he's a little bit nervous, but the thing about it is that he's doing a good job with the basketball. Now back about 3 or 4 months ago, he couldn't do this at all. But just doing this 3 to 4 minutes a day, he's able to do it just at this point, right like this. That is excellent, Jason. Thank you. Okay. That's good, Jason. All right. Thank you, son. See you later. Bye-bye. All right. If you practice, if you commit yourself to dribbling, that's what you can do. The flapjack. The flip-flapjack. You're saying, what is that? I'm going to teach you right now. It's another creative fundamental drill of dribbling that you can learn right now. Whatever you can do with a basketball, do it. Do it because you're going to become that much better in it. Remember in the square V? We're talking about the square V because every dribble comes from the square V dribble. Everything. Between the legs, side to side, in the front to back, front to front, back to back. Here's where it comes. You see that little dribble I'm doing here? That's how the flapjack came about. What do you do? Well, simply that. Except you're going to do it dribbling between your legs. That's what I said. You're going to do that dribbling between your legs with one hand. I'm going to take the ball right like this. I'm going to throw it through. Remember how we learned with one hand? Throw it through. And then you're going to come over here with the ball. Come over here with it. So it's here, here. But where's the ball going? It's going through your other leg. So you're here, then here. See? So what I want to do here, I want to take the ball, I'm going to go through here, okay? I'm going to go through here and back through here. I want to stand up straight, I'm going to go down with my right hand, see? All comes from the square V. All of it. All of it comes from the square V, see? Okay, if you do it with your right hand, you got to do it with your left hand. Let's do it left hand. Now the flip-flap jack comes in when you go right to left, right to left, right to left. Okay? Right, down to the left. The flapjack, the flip-flap jack, back and forth. A tremendous creative fundamental of dribbling that you can learn. All it takes is commitment, discipline, and practice. There's going to be a lot of frustration. When you start to do this drill, there's going to be a tremendous amount of frustration. The ball's going to go every which way. Stay with it. If you stay with it, you will be able to do it. Put it in, because you can use this in game situations. Just with the hand quickness on the ball. The flip-flap jack. Scrambled egg. Another creative fundamental drill of dribbling. Scrambled egg. Okay? Scrambled eggs dribble. All those different parts. It'll scramble your brain for a while. You'll be very frustrated when you do it. But remember this, stay with it. Stay with that commitment. You can do it. Once you do it, you'll find yourself being able to come out on the court. You'll be able to set things up. You'll be able to take that ball and go any place you want with it because your hand will become an extension of it. That's a tremendous, creative, fundamental drill just for you. Dribbling blindfolded. That's what I used to do when I was 8 to 9 years old. Hey, I had fun. It was so much fun for me to come out and dribble blindfolded. At the house where I lived in Clemson, South Carolina, I'd get up very early in the morning when my dad and mother were still asleep. My brother was asleep also, and I'd put a blindfold on. And I'd get in the kitchen area, and I'd try to make it to my bedroom dribbling the ball blindfolded through the house. Sometimes I did it, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I'd step on my dog. And I knew I stepped on him because I'd step on his head and he'd scream. And I'd take the blindfold off and go down there and pet the little dog, you understand? But I really wanted to dribble. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to get up and play basketball. Let me tell you something. You can do the same thing. Believe me, don't put a blindfold on and do it in your house because you might have expensive things you might knock over. Don't do that, okay? But you can take that basketball, you can dedicate yourself, you can commit to it, you can come out here and dribble, dribble, dribble. If you're a playmaker, you got to dribble. You got to learn the basic fundamentals. You got to learn the creative fundamentals. That's what you want to do. And that's the only way you're going to do it. You got to do it with commitment. You got to have determination, desire. You got to repetitiously come out here and do it over and over and over and over. You're going to get frustrated. It's strenuous. It's exhaustive. You're definitely going to get frustrated. Break through that barrier. Don't let those thoughts come in your mind. Say, hey, I'm going to push forward. I'm going to keep on going. That's all I'm going to do. Remember this. I know that the talent I have is from God. I also know that to reach the level of success that I got to, it had to be through hard work. Hard work and practice, practice, practice. So remember this. If you want to pass the test, be sure that you do your homework.
Now you can learn even more of the secrets that made Pistol Pete Maravich into a basketball legend. Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. shooting, dribbling, passing, and ball handling. They all add up to making your game great.